G'day guys, it's Mark here from North Oz, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 10 things that I hate about this brand new 2023 Toyota Fortuner. Let's get into it. So coming at number one are storage options, because there aren't a lot in this vehicle. If you have this cup holder flap thing, I don't know why vehicle manufacturers choose to do this, but anyway, if you have that cup holder flap thing open, you lose access to the one storage compartment that is actually available to you in the front. So I don't really know why Toyota chose to do that. It's the tiniest little compartment, and it's supposed to house your phone, which will obviously have your CarPlay and that plugged into it. But if you have a water bottle or something that requires the cup holder to be open, then you can't actually put your phone anywhere. You can try and put it in the center console, but I mean, that's just going to be weird and out of the way and very difficult, and you're going to forget your phone for sure. So just a weird annoyance for me is there's not really a lot of places to put things. The second thing that I hate are these seats. Now, although I think that these seats, the positioning and the comfort of them is better than even the Prado, I just hate the way they feel, to be honest. They don't look very nice. They're kind of like a weird gray with a tiger stripe on them for some reason. I don't know why. They've got white stitching on them, which again, I don't really care about. But the material that they use is kind of like this rough polyester on the bolstering, and they've got this really smooth polyester in the middle. So I don't know why they've chosen to do that. It just makes it, because it's so like shiny and smooth, it just makes it even hotter. So when you get in here on a hot day like today, and the sun's been on these seats for a while, just that shiny polyester stuff, it really it really attracts a lot of heat and doesn't make it too comfortable when you get in here to begin with. So just keep that in mind. These seats, they're not that great. So third thing that I hate about the Fortuner is the suspension, and it does ride a bit on the firmer side when it doesn't have a load in it. However, if you do put more of a load in, you go camping and you do a lot of towing, which is, you know, a lot of stuff that I do, camping and that, it does soften up the ride a lot. Very similar to a Hilux in that respect. But if you're just kind of using it mostly, and this is what most of us use it for, is for, you know, taking the kids to places, you know, picking up the groceries and stuff like that, you will notice that without a big load in this vehicle, it is going to be a bit on the firmer side. And I think that Toyota probably could have put a softer set of shocks and springs in this vehicle. Now, before we move on to the next thing that I hate about this Fortuner, can I get you guys to do me a massive favor? Can you go ahead and click that subscribe button? It would help me out so much. As YouTube tells me, only about 10% of you guys watching this right now have subscribed, so it would help me out so much. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and have a look at the next thing that I hate about this GX Fortuner. So coming in at number 4, this one is a little bit baffling for what Toyota have done on this. So for the keys for this GX Fortuner, they've got an unlock and lock fob. So this unit here, which is exactly that, it's an absolute unit, but there is also a key. So you need to, if you want to use the central locking, so the unlocking and lock function, you can use the big fob. But when you get in, you need to use this key anyway to start it up, because it doesn't have a push to start. Now, I don't know how much a push to start system would cost for Toyota. I assume it's not a lot, and I think that for over $50,000, Toyota probably could have put something in there, even if it cost them a little bit of extra money, just so that they didn't have to have all these different keys, and it would have really improved the overall ownership experience of this vehicle. So if it was me and I was owning this vehicle for a lot longer than what I'm owning it for now, I'm probably just going to use just the key, because that way I'm not lugging around 2 massive keys, because I don't like to have a lot of things in my pockets. So at number 5, this is again another decision from Toyota that I'm not quite sure if it was the right one. And it's the fact that this Fortuner is rear drive. Now, when I owned my Prado 150, it was constantly in 4 high. However, this is rear drive, which you can then select 4 high if things are getting a little bit sketchy, and of course it has 4 low as well. But I just don't see the advantage of having this as a rear drive only vehicle. Testing the fuel economy on this vehicle and my Hilux compared to my Prado 150, which was a 2021 model, I have noticed no difference in the fuel economy, and the Prado was a bigger and heavier vehicle. So if it's not for fuel economy benefits, I'm just not quite sure why Toyota would put a rear drive setup in this vehicle. A little bit baffling to me, and this would have made this Fortuner a lot better if it had, and if it was constantly in 4 high. Coming in at number 6 is the air conditioning unit. Now, If you guys watch the 13 things that I like about this vehicle, you'll notice that the air conditioning unit was actually a thing that I really like. I do like it, but the flexibility and the adjustability of it is just not what it is in the other vehicles like the Prado. For whatever reason, if there's no one else in this side seat next to me, then I will always reach over and steal that air conditioning if I can. So I'll try to push that unit and that fan, the fins, I'll try to push that over towards me, but for some reason it just doesn't direct that air over to me, which makes it a little bit more uncomfortable in here than it was in my Prado. Coming in at number 7 while we're in the interior, and if you guys have test drove a lot of other vehicles, you'll know just how good the visibility is in this front 180-degree view. It is excellent. I don't think you guys will find a better vehicle on the market than this. But if you take one look behind you to the rear quarters, you'll notice that there is no visibility really past this second row of seats, and that to me is a problem because I'm very much a turn and looker, like when I'm changing lanes, or just probably from learning to drive on vehicles that didn't have cameras and things like that. I'm very much a turn and look sort of person. So for me, it's a bit of a, I don't know, it's a little bit nerve-wracking having to rely on the side view mirrors to try and see what is behind that second row of seats. So the other thing that doesn't really help with it as well, not only the pillar that doesn't help, but it's also the fact that that third row of seats, so seats 6 and 7, they fold up and to the side, which blocks the little window there. And that doesn't happen in the Prado because the seats fold down and into the, kind of into the chassis really, but into the floor of the vehicle. So for me, I really like the fact that the Prado has excellent visibility in the rear, but this, just because of the size of it and the design of it, yeah, it's not that great. Coming in at number 8 is this rear door, and although in the 13 things that I like video I said that I really like this rear door, unfortunately it is not going to be for everyone. For me, I think it's great, but for most people and for families that have smaller children and stuff, they aren't going to be able to shut this door because it is quite a high opening rear door. So again, just something that, you know, maybe if they had a button on the inside that could automatically shut it, it might make it a little bit better, but unfortunately you have to reach up, grab it, and again, the handle isn't really in the best spot, so you have to reach up, grab it, pull it down, and it does require quite a fair bit of force to be able to shut it, because if you don't put that amount of effort into it, then it's not going to shut, which I have done multiple times. At number 9 is this offset rear camera, and you know, I just don't know why Toyota couldn't have put it right in the middle. I mean, even just using some sort of bracket near the number plate or something, to me it just seems lazy, and to have it offset like that is a bit of a hassle for those people that want to be hitching up if they are doing a lot of towing. So number 10 on the list of things that I hate about this Fortuner are these poorly designed seats. Let's call it what it is. They kind of fold up and out of the way, not really, and they use this weird buckle system that just looks like an afterthought that's attached to the seat belt holder thing, the tensioner. So I don't like this design at all. It also, when these seats are out of the way, they are blocking the vision for the driver out these rear quarter panels. So again, just not really well designed. I really like the design of the Prado 150, where they fold down and into the floor out of the way, only raising the floor by about 10 centimeters. I've done a whole video on how to remove those seats if anyone's interested in that, and you can see just how small they are. I can actually pick them up kind of like a hamburger really, but these are massive units, and I just think that they are poorly designed, and Toyota definitely could have engineered something better than what they sold this vehicle with. So that's the last thing I wanted to talk about. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Well guys, that concludes today's video on the 10 things that I hate about this Toyota Fortuner, but there are a lot of things that I really do like, which is why I made the 13 things that I like video. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, that is in the little card above me here if you want to go ahead and click on that. But if you also want a more of a detailed review of all the features of this vehicle, I have also made a video on that as well that you can go ahead and check out on my channel. So guys, that concludes everything for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very shortly in the next video, but I'll see you even sooner in the comments section down below. See you there.